community was stricken with grief when a teenage girl was found dead less than a mile away from her home. What had happened and who killed her? Welcome back to Ripshy Crime, where we discuss and analyze the most compelling cases that capture national attention. Today we dive into a tragic story that shook a community to its core. This is the case of a teenage girl who was stabbed multiple times to death by a teenage boy. In this video, we will examine the background, the events leading up to the crime, the investigation, and the pursuit of justice. Let's get started. Aiden Fucci and Tristan Bailey were both teens living in St. Johns County, Florida. They went to the same school, and on that day that changed their lives forever, they ran into each other. On May 9th, 2021, Tristan Bailey, a cheerleader who was just 13 years old, was reported missing by her family. Tristan Bailey was supposed to help make a special Mother's Day breakfast for her mom, Stacy, on the day she was reported missing. There was then a massive search effort led by law enforcement, community members, and volunteers. Tragically, the search ended when Tristan's dead body was found in a wooded area near her home. She had been stabbed over and over again. As the case went on, people began to focus on Aiden Fucci, a 14-year-old boy who talked to Tristan the night she went missing. Authorities thought Fucci was involved in the crime because of what he wrote on social media and what witnesses said. Later, it turned out that the two teens knew each other. Aiden Fucci, who was 14 at the time, was charged with killing Bailey in the first degree. February 2023, just before jury selection was to start, Fucci changed his plea from not guilty to guilty. On March 24th, 2019, Judge R. Lee Smith gave Fucci a life sentence. Tristan Bailey was one of Stacy and Forrest Bailey's 5 kids. She lived in Durbin Crossing, which is in the northwest of St. Johns County. She went to Patriot Oaks Academy and was both a student and a cheerleader there. Aiden, who was 14 at the time of the murder, went to Patriot Oaks with Bailey and lived near him. Fucci's girlfriend and other friends told detectives that he often talked about killing people and that he planned to drag a random person into the woods and stab them. Even though records of people under 18 are kept secret, R.J. Larissa, the state attorney for the 7th Circuit, said that Fucci did not have a criminal record. Police records say that on the night she died, Fucci asked a friend for Bailey's number. He got her to leave home and meet him at a friend's house. Video footage from a home in the community shows 2 people who are thought to be Fucci and Bailey going east on Saddlestone Drive near where her body was later found, at the end of a retention pond. An hour and 45 minutes later, the same video seemed to show Fucci walking back alone while holding his shoes. An autopsy revealed that Tristan had 114 stab wounds around her head, neck, shoulders, arms, hands, and even her back. According to an unredacted warrant shared by the state attorney, the medical inspector said that at least 49 of the wounds were caused by self-defense. Deputy Robert Maloney of the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office was one of the first people to interview Fucci when Tristan was still missing. Fucci said that they did hang out at a common friend's house until about 1 a.m., but when they left together, he wasn't home until 3:30 a.m. The deputy pointed out that some parts of Fucci's schedule didn't make sense. He said that he went back to his house to talk to him again and asked if he could ride with him to show him the road that he and Tristan took. His stepfather followed along in a golf cart. Maloney insisted that Fucci kept lying about when he and Tristan separated. He then later finally admitted that they had fought. Maloney said that Aiden said she grabbed his penis and apologized to the court for what he was about to say. He said he didn't like it and he didn't want to cheat on his girlfriend, so he pushed her down and hit her on the head. He said that he then left. Maloney then took Fucci into custody. While he was waiting, he started crying and said, "I'm going to be arrested for some bullshit." Tristan Bailey's death was thoroughly looked into by law enforcement, forensic experts, and people from the community. The police went through all the evidence very carefully. They looked at CCTV footage, took DNA samples, and talked to possible witnesses for a long time. As the investigation went on, scary details came to light that painted a grim picture of what happened that night. Aiden Fucci was taken into custody soon after the cops found Tristan's dead body in a wooded area. As more and more proof pointed to him, it became shockingly clear that he was the main suspect. Fucci was charged with second-degree murder in the death of Bailey. Due to the violence of the crime, the state attorney's office for the 7th Circuit changed the charge to first-degree murder with premeditation. Fucci was charged as an adult. A buck knife with a broken tip was found near her body in a pond. A piece of it was found stuck in Bailey's head and was linked to Fucci. There was video surveillance and DNA proof. Also, in his house were wet shoes and clothes with blood on them in his room, blood and dirt on the drain by the bathroom sink, and wet denim pants in a laundry basket. A knife sheath with no knife and other graphic pictures of violence, unrelated to the case, were also found in his room. More proof in the case came from phone records and emails, Snapchats, recorded phone calls, and texts from jail, and even interviews with friends, family, teachers, and other inmates. Fucci's girlfriend told detectives that he often carried a knife and talked about killing people, including her. She stated that he would sneak up behind her and act like he was going to cut her throat, but she and her friends say they didn't really think about it. She also said that when he was angry, he said he heard voices in his head. He also said in court that he was taking antidepressants. During the sentencing, Sergeant Kurt Hannon of the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office said that Fucci's best friend and girlfriend said he was crazy about knives and always carried one with him, and he liked to show it off. He even gave them the names Picker and Poker. After a series of investigations, Fucci's mother was also arrested. The day after the murder, video surveillance at the Fucci home caught Crystal Lane Smith, Fucci's mother, taking a pair of jeans from Fucci's bedroom into the next-door bathroom. The video appears to show her cleaning the jeans and showing them to another woman, whose name has not been released. Smith didn't know what had happened to Bailey at that point. On May 12, 2021, investigators went to the witness's home to talk to her. She told them that Smith found a pair of damp jeans in the teen's bedroom trash and asked her if she saw anything on them. She also said that Smith said she washed the jeans. According to the report, the witness said she didn't see anything that looked like blood and that she could get into trouble if she washed them. That same night, Fucci and his parents were put in a room at St. Johns County Sheriff's Office where they could be watched. The Sheriff's Office says that Smith asked Fucci if he was sure that nothing from the night before was on his clothes. "I don't think so, but why?" Fucci asked. During a search, the police found the jeans in Fucci's bedroom. Crystal Smith was arrested in June because she was accused of tampering with evidence in the case. Florida law says that a third-degree felony can get you up to 5 years in jail. Crystal Lane Smith eventually pleaded no contest to messing with evidence, and she was given 30 days in jail and 5 years of probation as a result. Sheriff's Office incident records in the jail show that Fucci got into fights, had illegal items, bullied other inmates out of their commissary items, and threatened them. He also got into fights with guards and threatened them as well. He has been hit with pepper spray and held back more than once. A fellow prisoner also said that Fucci said he was real because he stabbed a girl in the face, while others just shot them. Even though he was charged as an adult with first-degree murder, he cannot be put to death because he's still a minor. Florida law also says that after 25 years of a life sentence, the judge can think about giving a lighter punishment. On February 6, 2023, on the first day of his murder trial, Fucci pled guilty to first-degree murder. "I just want to apologize to the Bailey family," Fucci, now 16, told the court. On March 24th, Judge R. Lee Smith of Florida's 7th Judicial Circuit Court gave Fucci a sentence of life in jail. Smith said that Tristan Bailey died a horrible, painful death at the hands of someone she trusted. Judge R. Lee Smith told the court in St. Johns County that the case really bothered him, which is why he gave the teen a life sentence. This didn't happen because of greed, and it wasn't done to get back at someone or even get even. It was done in a rage that couldn't be stopped. It just didn't make sense, he said. There was no point. Smith said that it was done for no reason other than to satisfy this defendant's inner desire to know what it was like to kill someone. This shows that there is only one sentence that fits the crime in this case, the judge stated. He said he was going to kill someone, the judge said. I don't know when he made up his mind that it would be Tristan Bailey, but there had to be a victim. Fucci was sent to Suwannee Correctional Institution in Live Oak after he got his sentence. Even after the trial was over and the decision was given, the community was still dealing with the tragedy. Tristan Bailey's untimely death left an indelible mark on the hearts of everyone who knew her, and its effects went far beyond her immediate group. Even though we may never fully understand what led to this horrible act, it is important to remember Tristan as the bright and loving young girl she was, not just the darkness that surrounded the end of her life. The tragedy of Tristan Bailey's death and Aiden Fucci's role in it is a stark warning that we need to try and learn from these kinds of events so that they don't happen as much. This case raises important questions about youth violence, mental health, and how society shapes the lives of young people. Parents, teachers, and community leaders need to make sure that teens have safe places to talk about their feelings and get help when they need it. Finding mental health problems early and getting help for them can be a key part of stopping dangerous behavior. By creating an atmosphere that encourages open communication and support, we may be able to find people who may be in danger and give them the tools that they need. The story of Aiden Fucci and Tristan Bailey shows how fragile life is and how much these kinds of tragedies can hurt people, their families, and their communities. It's a scary warning that darkness can hide in places we don't expect it, and that it's our job as a society to make sure people are kind, compassionate, and understanding. Let's remember Tristan Bailey, whose life was cut short far too soon, as we conclude our investigation of this terrifying story. I would just like to thank you all for joining me for today's video. Remember to respect the victim's family, and let's keep in mind the importance of supporting those affected by such tragedies and working towards creating a safer and more compassionate society. If you found this video informative or thought-provoking, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth discussions on pressing matters. If you or someone you know is struggling with difficult emotions, remember that it is always okay to seek help. Reach out to friends, family, or professional counselors who can provide the support needed during challenging times.